What is up, people? It is Brian with NeverState.com, and today I'm going to try to give you 3 tips on how to improve your squat. Now, a little disclaimer, these are things that work for me. If they don't work for you, blame somebody else. Don't come back here blaming me. These tips will work 100% of the time, about 76% of the time. Some of the tips I'll be giving you may be against some things that you've been taught in the past. They might be things you guys have never heard of before. All I ask is that you give them a shot. If they work for you, awesome. If they don't, discard them. It's not a big deal either way. But you never know if you don't try. Now, the squat may not seem like it, but it's majorly complex. There's so many little intricacies and details and cues that it would be a whole lot to cover in one video. So my plan is to make a series of videos where I just release a couple tips at a time, so it's not overwhelming, gives you guys a chance to practice what I'm showing you, apply it to your own squat. I'll give you a squat video every couple weeks. Hopefully it'll lead to bigger numbers. Hopefully it'll be good things. All that said, now it's time to get the first 3 tips. Let's get after it. Alright, so I've caught a decent amount of flack from the internet for always telling people to flex their butt in my videos. But the reason why I harp on it so much is because it works. And it's never more applicable than it is in the squat. So I'm sure it doesn't surprise many of you that this would be my #1 tip. Flexing your butt's going to do a couple things for you. Number 1, it is going to bring your hips underneath the bar, because for most people, I know you don't think you do it, but when you walk out, your butt is sticking out. If you don't believe me, videotape a set of your squats and you will probably be shocked at how far over you're actually bent before the set even begins. Now right here I show an example of how most people start their squat, with their hips back, they're breaking at the hip, and it's leaning them forward. What I'm saying is bring your hips forward, then push your knees out, drop into the hole, and it will keep you much more upright. Just keeping your hips underneath the bar like that will get you a whole lot more horsepower and leg drive coming out of the hole, and it won't force you as much forward, which is where most people miss their squats. I also think it's important to note here that you flex your butt between every single rep if you're planning on doing multiple reps. You need to think of each and every squat as an individual movement, and you can't descend until you're in the absolute best position for success. If you don't, you're going to get lazy and your form's just going to degrade as you go, and you're going to keep sticking your butt out further and further. Alright, on to step number 2. Initiating the movement by pushing your knees out as opposed to breaking at the hips. Now I know this goes against what many of you have been taught in the past, but it has made a huge difference in my squat. If I break at the waist and push my butt back, I lean forward. Everyone does. If I break at my knees and push them out to initiate the movement of the squat, I can stay much more upright, sticking me in a more advantageous position rather than falling forward. Right here I show you a side view of the actual angle of my back. That's me pushing my knees out. This is me breaking at my hips. You guys can see a definite difference there, and when the weight gets heavy, if you're leaning forward at all, it tends to kind of keep pushing you forward. Now putting steps 1 and 2 together, once you walk the bar out, flex your butt, then push your knees out to drop into the hole. You guys see here, between every single rep, I reflex my butt, get stable, push my knees out, drop in, and I can stay very upright, even in a fairly low bar position. Alright, so for the 3rd tip on the squat, I want to talk about what I'm doing with my upper body. As you can see in these couple clips here, I'm trying to pull the bar through my chest and bend it across my shoulders almost like it's a horseshoe. I will continue to do this from the moment I unrack the bar until I hit the bottom of the squat and reverse the movement. When I do that, I drive up on the bar like I'm doing a military press. Attempting to bend the bar across shoulders will not only melt it to your body and make it feel lighter, but it also gives you a more stable platform to apply force. All of this begins with my setup. When I flex my butt, I bring my elbows underneath the bar. That's going to allow me to stay more upright, and when I come out of the hole and start pushing up on the bar like I'm military pressing, the force is going to go upward. If your elbows are pointed back behind you, like I'm showing in this example, if you try to apply force to the bar, you're just going to push it further up on your delts, making the squat even harder. Instead, when you flex your butt, get your elbows underneath the bar, push up, and I swear to you, it works like magic. The bar feels lighter. Alright, so putting all 3 tips together, as soon as you walk the bar out, flex your butt to get your hips under the bar, initiate the move by pushing your knees out, and instead of ripping the bar through your chest, as soon as you start to reverse the motion up out of the hole, push up like you're military pressing. All right, so those are your first 3 tips for the squat. Number 1, come on clock. Number 1, flex your butt, get your posterior chain involved, get your elbows under the bar, keep the bar over the middle of your foot, get your hip under the bar so that all the energy that you're pushing into the floor travels up your spine, into the bar, makes you lift awesome things. Step number 2, push your knees out to initiate the descent. If you're pushing your butt back, you're throwing yourself forward, it's just gonna stick you in a less advantageous position to actually get the squat. Step number 3, drive up on the bar like you're doing a military press when you're coming out of the hole. Definitely stole that from Jim Wendler. I think it was Jim Wendler. If not, I apologize, Jim. But make sure you're pushing the bar up when you're coming out of the hole like you're doing a military press. It'll get your elbows underneath the bar, allowing you to get more speed. It will make the bar feel lighter, and it will make you able to stay more upright. You're welcome. So there you go. There's your first 3 squat tips. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions or comments or want me to cover something else, leave it in the comment section down below. Go out and practice. Keep working hard. I'll catch up with you next time. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.